What's going on, guys? Welcome back. A few months ago I made the Wolfbox G900 dash cam install for you guys on my 4Runner. Today I'm going to be doing another Wolfbox install video, this time on my buddy's 2024 4Runner. And instead of the Wolfbox G900, we're going to be installing the G900 Pro. For those of you that don't know, the G900 Pro does have a few new features. It has better clarity for the front and rear view cameras, as well as the fact that you can now talk to the mirror or dash cam, whatever you want to call it, and give it voice prompts like, hey, start recording, stop recording, that kind of stuff. In addition to that, you can also now download the videos straight from your dash cam to your phone. There's no need to plug the micro SD into your computer or device to then download those videos. So another new feature in the G900 Pro. So follow me now. I will show you guys how to get this installed, what comes in the box, and kind of what it looks like once it's all done. Before I get to the video, you might have seen a flag kind of bunched up in a ball here. We had really bad weather the day prior to me filming, and the flag actually got torn. So I grabbed it in the rain and I just brought it in the garage. I typically don't leave flags crumpled up, but I didn't want it hanging in the wind and in the rain, you know, getting further destroyed. So I have since appropriately disposed of it, but just want to point it out, I don't leave flags crumpled up. All right, guys, so you're probably wondering what comes in the box. Well, first and foremost, you're going to get the G900 Pro. Additionally, you're going to get the GPS antenna. What that allows you to do is you plug this into the G900 Pro, and that will give you real-time cardinal directions as well as speed of your vehicle once it is receiving that GPS input. Also, you're going to get the rear-facing camera. I don't know the exact length that it comes with as far as cord goes or wire goes, but I do know that it's not long enough if you do plan on wiring your rear-facing camera to stick out down here. So what you can do is purchase a 33-foot spool from Wolfbox, and that will allow you to plug in to the camera and then run it all the way back through your vehicle and then out your spoiler if that's where you choose to mount it. A couple other things that this comes with a cigarette port wiring. That way you can plug your Wolfbox in directly to your cigarette port. You can get this right here, which allows you to tie into your fuse box. And with this tied into your fuse box, you essentially do not need this, and it allows you to power your mirror directly from your fuse box when you turn the key on and off, and as well as it allows you to have your vehicle in park mode. So when you're not in your vehicle, this is always getting constant power. It will record if somebody like hits your car, if you have the G sensor turned on, that kind of thing. A couple other things you can buy that are extra. You can get this lens right here. This will go in the front of the camera for the front-facing camera, and it will help kind of make the oncoming traffic lights not be so bright in your camera. It kind of like dilutes them a little bit. Additionally, you can also buy this right here. What this is, so if you look right here, the G900 comes with these little elastic or plastic straps, and what they do is they allow you to mount over your existing mirror. These kind of wrap behind your mirror, and then this will sit in front. If you don't like that look and you want to get rid of the OEM mirror, you can buy this right here. This screws in to this back plate, and then this furthermore screws into the G900 Pro. And what you're essentially doing is deleting the OEM mirror, and this will take its spot. All right, as far as tools go, I am going to use this off the bat. There might be other tools involved. If there are, I will let you know. But you're going to need a 5/16 drill bit along with the drill. This is optional right here. This will speed up your install process. I have a 3/8 electric ratchet and a 10mm socket. I do have the deep socket for this. I have a box cutter. I have some wire cutters, and then I have a Phillips head screwdriver. There might be other tools that are needed, but off the bat, this is what I remember using on my last install video. This is a 90% solution, I think, as to what you're going to need for this job. For those of you that purchased the adapter that allows you to use just the Wolfbox mirror, the first step is to get your pry tool and push these little plastic covers off of the rear of the Wolfbox. What that will do is it will expose these screws, and you're gonna unscrew the screw. And once you do that, these little pieces here that are normally used to hold in place the rubber band or elastics over here, these will come out. And once all of these are removed, you will be able to drop this in place and then use the existing screws that were on the Wolfbox G900 to screw it back down. I've installed the plate onto the rear of the G900 Pro. This does not have a certain orientation. You can flip it either way and secure it down with those 4 screws. Now, the next step is to take these 4 screws that are provided in the box. This does have an orientation, okay? I want you to think of it as the screws on the bottom in your vehicle. So when you put your G900 Pro on your windshield, it slides down and the screw is hidden because it's underneath this metal rod. So when you install it, you want to see the letters Wolfbox upright, and then with the screw on the bottom, it's going to go like so. The camera has been mounted to the adapter that is going to slide into the piece on your windshield and then be screwed in. So this is good to go now. I'm going to put this to the side, and the next thing I'm going to do, the most tedious part of this in my mind, is running the wire from the front of the vehicle all the way to the rear for the rear-facing camera. All right, one thing worth keeping in mind is this is the end of the wire that is going to plug into the G900 Pro once it is all set up. So just keep that in mind when you start routing it. Don't route it incorrectly. Now, because that's where the OEM bracket is for the mirror, I know that that's where the G900 Pro is going to be. So I'm going to run my wire starting through here. I'm going to use the pry tool that Wolfbox gave, and I'm going to start tucking the wire up in the ceiling. When you get to this pillar, you can just push the wire down into the plastic pillar piece. It will go behind there. And then once you get to the door itself, you can just pull the door seal down. There's no glue or anything holding it in place. And then with the wire, again, it just goes right in there. You don't have to put it anyway special. You can just push it up there and then put the door seal over it. It will stay in place. So you're gonna trace the wire all through the door seal. Then you go down through this pillar, tuck it in here. When you get to the back door, same thing. Pull the seal down. It's not held in place by glue or anything. You just got to get it started. You're gonna pull that down, run the wire again through the door, and then once you route it all throughout the door, you're then going to route it through this pillar right here. Again, tucking it. After you get past the pillar, same thing. Behind this plastic piece right here, follow it up here. Remove this seal by pulling up. You're going to route it across, and you're going to stop roughly where this plastic piece is right here. Once we get to this area, I will show you guys from this view what you're going to do next. All right, guys, so I told you that the wire would run to roughly about this plastic piece right here. That is what you see right here. I went ahead and loosened this right here. This is the factory wiring that goes into your tailgate. So the way you do that is take your pry tool, get underneath this gasket, and just peel it off. Once you peel it off, you're gonna take this pry tool and push these tabs in. And when you push those tabs in, this will pop out. Then what I did was I took the end of the wire right here, I ran it through the headliner and out the hole, and I left myself about this much length. A rough estimate is about where the tailgate ends. What that will allow me to do is then route it through here and then out the exterior of the vehicle to make the connection with the camera. So you want about this much length. This red wire is used to tap into your reverse lights. That way your Wolfbox turns on when you put the car in reverse. But I'm not going to do that because when I put the car in reverse, the head unit has the reverse image anyway, so it's kind of pointless. So this is what you're going to do. Now with this excess wire, what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold it together, and then I'm going to tuck it back here. So there's wire running this way. I'm gonna now run wire back and put it in the rear pillar because it's a large void and it's just gonna sit back there. All right, so like I stated earlier, I ran the wire back through the headliner. I pulled this piece out. I didn't take it out, I just pulled it out. So I took my pry tool, got behind it with my finger, and then I was just able to do one of these. Hear that pop? The first piece is out, and then I tucked all the wire back here. And then to close it back up, just push it back in place. So now all that excess wire is in the pillar. So if we end up having too much wire here, we can always feed it back down into the headliner, no problem. All right, for this next section, you're gonna take your pry tool again, get behind these plastic pieces. There's 4 of them, and you're just gonna take them off and set them to the side. Next, you're gonna take either a socket or an electric ratchet with that 10 millimeter extended socket, and you're gonna stick it in those 4 holes and just remove the hardware that is securing the spoiler to the vehicle itself. All right, now, technically your spoiler, the only thing holding it in place are these plastic pieces that I will show you in a second. But before you remove that, you're gonna wanna remove this trim piece. To remove it, it's very easy. I've already removed this for sake of time and effort, but you're just gonna pull on it. When you pull it, there's these 4 plastic pieces that are holding it in place. Once you remove this, then this will be free and you can just put it to the side. Next, you're gonna wanna disconnect these connections. That way when you go to pull the spoiler apart, you're not pulling on wires. So you're just gonna unplug that. All right, see how I'm standing in the trunk with the window down? This is what you want. You're gonna take your elbow and you're gonna push the door down to about this height, and then you're gonna grab the whole spoiler like this. You're gonna firmly pull on it. And it pops out of place like that. And now you put this to the side. All right, so just like earlier, I took this pry tool. I went ahead and pulled the gasket through the second part, and then I used the pry tool again and got behind these little pieces, and I was able to pull this down. Once I pulled it down, this was taped to the boot. I just loosened the tape, that way this is exposed now. And I have a piece of copper wire in my garage. I put an eye hook on it, and I'm gonna route it down through here to this end. And what that's gonna allow me to do is then take the wire and pull it through here and then route it outside. So that's what I'm gonna do next. All right, guys, this is by far the most difficult part. It's not easy. I've already done this before, and it's still a pain in the ass. You gotta have patience with this. So you're gonna just slowly fish it through. I can see it's right here because it's getting stuck on something. So I'm just gonna peel this boot back a little bit. And here's the eye hook that I created. So it actually took me about 30 seconds, which normally it can take a lot longer if you snag on wires. So what you're gonna wanna do next is take this wire right here. You're gonna just put it in here like so. And then if you have duct tape or electric wiring tape, you're gonna just tape it around it. Primarily so that this does not hang up on any of these wires and you don't pull them and then break them as you're pulling this through. So I'm gonna go get some electrical tape and then just throw a couple wraps around it. That way this has no way of getting hung up on anything in this boot. All right, so I did feed that through here successfully. I just took the electrical tape off. The next thing you want to do is connect this plastic boot back to the plastic piece. You want to connect this before you push it in place, or else it's going to be way more difficult. So you're going to connect it, and then you're going to push it down, and it'll lock in place. All right, so I pulled this piece out. Same with the pry tool, you're going to wedge it between here, pop this open, and then it'll allow the wire to tuck with the remaining wire, and then you can close it back up and push it down into place. As before, put the gasket on the plastic piece and then push it into place. And then this piece, you're just gonna tuck it back in and close this. All right, now you're gonna take that 5/16 drill bit and I put my hole right here. It's kind of in between these two. You're just going to drill right on this seam like so. And then what that's going to allow is to put the back end of the camera through this hole and then mount it in place. Okay, you're going to take that camera end, stick it through this hole, and you're just going to pull it all the way through. And then the last thing we need to do is take the adhesive as well as the screws and mount it in place here. That way, when it sits, it's nice and straight and it won't move on you. All right, that wire is run. I did put the adhesive back here and then I screwed it in place. It's right on the line right here. That gives you the best clearance. It allows the wiper blade to go down and it does not impede the functionality of the camera. All right, so the wire has been run through the hole. I did go ahead and put the adhesive right on the edge and then I screwed it in place. That will allow the clearance for the wiper blade to go back and forth. It won't impede the camera, but it also gives you the furthest distance out of the spoiler so that nothing is in your line of sight except the image that the camera is receiving. All right, so you're gonna now connect the camera with the arrows together. This is optional, but I take a piece of heat shrink and I put it over the connection. That way, one, it doesn't come apart, and two, it just gives it that extra layer of waterproof. All right, so with that connection, this is just hanging here for now. I did go ahead and put the spoiler back in. What I mean by that is I just popped it in place. It's not actually like screwed in yet. But now what you're gonna wanna do is reconnect this piece right here. And then I'm going to, whatever excess I have here, I'm gonna wrap it up together nice and neat and then zip tie it and it'll live right up here. And then once that is in place, we'll pop this into its spot and then we'll put the 4 bolts on and the caps and this section will be done. All right, as you can see, the wires have been zip tied. They're nice and neatly tucked back here. Now all that remains is just pushing this back into place. All right, at this point in time, we're gonna screw the 10mm screws back into the lift gate. That way the spoiler is secured. Then we're gonna put the caps on. All right, so this is the GPS antenna. You are supposed to like route it and maybe leave it on your dash. That way it has a clear line of sight. I can tell you from experience running the G900 in my car for the past 7 months, I tucked it in the headliner and I've had no issues with reception and I hate looking at it. So in the headliner it goes. So I'm just gonna tuck this back up here in this little void right here and then leave the wire hanging down. You only need about this much. All right, guys, so with the GPS antenna installed, one of the last things that we have to do before mounting the mirror is getting the wiring and the power to the mirror. So I have already gone ahead and identified the fuse size that I'm going to need. It's this one right here. I connected it to the ACC and to the B+. Those are going to get wired to the fuse box down here. And that's going to provide the constant power and the power once the vehicle is on for the Wolfbox. And then you're going to ground it out to the bolt that's under there as well. Then this is going to go up through here, across through here, and up the headliner. Very simple. You have a direct shot through here to the panel. So very easy, but now I need to identify where I'm going to plug these in, and I will tell you guys it does vary from vehicle year. So I can't tell you where to put these because it's going to be different on 4Runners based on the year that they were produced. So you're just going to have to look up based on your year, make, and model where these are going to get located. You might notice that the vehicle that I started doing the install on is not here. It's been a few weeks since I made that install video and I ran out of time that day, did not have time to complete it. But lucky for you guys, my 4Runner has the G900 Pro as well. So I'm going to show you the last few steps to get this mirror installed and running. So the last thing we talked about was picking the fuses that work appropriately for your own vehicle. Now, just a side note, I did plug mine into my front seat adjustment. So what that means is when your car is in park mode or it's off and you want that constant power to the G900 Pro in case somebody hits your car, or if you want the time lapse, If you hook it up to the fuse that has your power seats, it will always have power. So that's what I did for mine. You'll have to pick the ACC fuse that you'll need for your G900 Pro. But on my friend's car, he had like a little box here because it's a newer 4Runner. Mine is not as new, so I don't have that box, but the same remains for both vehicles. You're going to unscrew the screw that's holding the old mirror in place. Now on the new one, there's a couple of plastic panels that hold the mirror wires in place. You pop out those plastic panels, and then the same is for both vehicles. You unscrew the mirror, that screw that we talked about earlier, it's underneath, and then you slide the mirror up. Once you do that, you can then take your G900 Pro, slide it back on the holder for the mirror, and then tighten it down, tightening that screw. And then you plug it in. That's it. So I'll show you what it looks like now. Everything's hooked up, powered on. I have my G900 Pro hooked up to my aux beam. Now, I didn't have to do this, but because all my other electronics are on the aux beam, I figured why not. So if I want to kill the mirror very quickly, I just push this button and it will cut the power to it. So looking at the mirror, right now it's registering as 0 miles per hour, obviously because I'm not driving. It's got your cardinal direction here. It's in 4K in the front and 2.5 in the back. I have my microphone and Wi-Fi disabled, but there's voice commands here that you can press and talk to once the microphone is unmuted, and I'll show you how that works. But prior to doing that, this is the rear camera. If you scroll up and down on the left-hand side of the screen, you can see just how high and low you can view with the camera, which makes it really nice for if you're like off-roading, if you want to see kind of what's below you. If you swipe to the left from the right-hand side, you can see the front camera. And then if you swipe again, you get the front and then the rear split screen. Now, as far as the voice commands go, if you unmute the microphone right here and you hit the voice prompt just to show you what you can say when you first start out, because you're not going to remember all this starting out, you can say, let's see, turn on Wi-Fi. And the Wi-Fi turns on. So now you can connect your phone to the G900 Pro, and you can transfer videos and pictures to your device. You can see mine is called Wolfbox G900 Pro. My password's there, 2014 4Runner, nothing surprising. And then you can do turn Wi-Fi off. Turn off Wi-Fi. Still learning the phrases you need to use. Yeah, you can say like show front camera, and it shows the front camera. Show rear camera. So this kind of stuff. So yeah, I hope that this shows you guys, how to install this on your 4Runner, whether you have a new or an old one. Like I said, the install video is the same for both the newer and older vehicles, with the exception of that plastic trim piece that's up here. Once you pop the panels off, the rest is the same. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below, and look for a link in the comments or video description for Wolfbox. I will have a coupon code for you guys. Again, as always, if you guys enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please share it with your friends, and please subscribe. Your guys' interactions with my videos help me help you guys by making more content and partnering with other companies. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Stay tuned. I'm going to show you at the end of this video what it looks like actually driving the 4Runner, the clarity, and then all the extra features that you can see on the screen once you download the video to your phone. It's really nice. You get, heading, GPS, speed, that kind of stuff. So if you are involved in an accident, while it sucks, you have all that data to provide to law enforcement and your insurance. So thanks, guys. I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care. All right, guys, so this is the front view on the G900 Pro. It's recording in 4K in the front. You can see on the highway that you can see all 4 lanes of travel while you're driving, which makes it really nice because you know that you're capturing everything that's going on in front of you. And then the next thing you're going to see is the rear view camera. And again, same thing. This time it's recording in 2.5K, but you are able to see all the lanes. It's very clear. And again, it gives you the speed, the G's,
your heading, your altitude, all that fun stuff, as well as your coordinates. So hope this helps, guys. See you on the next one.